What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Star City Sailors 1, Lion City Sailors 1, and Tottenham Hotspur 5. Hat-trick from Richarlison, a goal from Giovanni Lo Celso, and Harry Kane with the penalty. We did go 1-0 down in this game, quite surprisingly, which was poor defending, especially from Pedro Porro. But, I mean, that didn't really tell any of the story of the game. Possession was really high. Attempts were really high. I think we had 27 shots on goal in that first half. But we were kind of restricted to taking pop shots from outside the box, with Maddison really orchestrating things in that first half. I thought we really struggled to break them down in that first half with poor end product. Kulusevski and Maddison were really running that show in that first half. But why couldn't we break them down that first half?
Yeah, I thought the quality from the wide areas wasn't, especially from Son's on the left-hand side, wasn't particularly fantastic. I thought Kulusevski was causing a nuisance down the right, but more often than not, he was on his right foot, and the quality on his right foot, crossing-wise, couldn't really create too many chances. And centrally, we were taking a lot of shots, but we weren't trying to break the lines, I felt, in the central areas. We're just taking a lot of shots from outside the box, and we nearly came off a couple of times, but at the end of the day, they were defending very deep, and we couldn't really break them through. They actually didn't make too many mistakes, and that definitely changed in the second half. They were gifting us goals, and that definitely helped us on our way to a 5-1 victory. First half, though, it being 1-1, I don't think 1-1 was a fair reflection of the first half, but we definitely weren't creating too many combinations in the final third. We were very much relying on individual ability. For example, Maddison or Kulusevski dribbling past a couple of players to open up space. And it wasn't great, albeit it was very offensive and we were creating opportunities, but it wasn't the best half of football from Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. But, you know, we were saying before the game, against an opposition like this, you can't take too much away from it. But look, at the end of the day, it's not going to stop us reading and analysing everything into the game. So I think first half was a bit of a letdown in terms of the scoreline, because we go into halftime 1-1 with Kane only equalising on the stroke of halftime. I think it was a 94th minute of the 49th minute. So 4th minute of stoppage time. Second half was completely changed 11, a bit similar to the game against West Ham. You just saw us really stamp our authority. We got 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of that second half. Richarlison capitalising on some really poor defensive errors from the City Sailors, and it was really just one-way traffic from there. And I think Spurs were really good. Perisic and Giovanni Lo Celso really stamping their authority on the game, and I thought they were the best 2 players on the pitch on the day. Richarlison getting himself a hat-trick, and the floodgates just seemed to open after those first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, as soon as that first goal went in, you knew it was going to be pretty plain sailing from them. I think the City Sailors had one shot that whole half. It was very easy to pen them in and be a bit relentless. I think having a fresh 11 as well in terms of energy, when the Sailors, I think, maybe started to tire, would definitely helped just be physically dominant over them. And they started to make some really poor errors. The first goal, the 2 Sailors players leaves it for each other and ends up falling to Lo Celso, who was able to capitalise, and it falls to Richarlison. Second goal, long throw by Perisic. The defender lets it bounce in the box and then tries to head it back to the keeper, but weakly, and Richarlison pounces. And it was very easy does it. I think the left-hand side was very much the dominant side in the second half. Lo Celso, Reguilon and Perisic linking up with each other really, really well. They didn't really see the same link-up between Emerson, Skip and Solomon on the right-hand side, albeit the 4th goal did come from that right-hand side. Solomon did really well to get to the byline, cut it back, and then a slight deflection off a Sailor defender falls to Lo Celso, and he makes it 4-1. But it was almost like a training game at some points. But for the most of the second half, it was just Tottenham passing it around, trying to break the lock and trying to create opportunities without much resistance, to be honest. And it was only a matter of time before we got that 5th goal. Nice little flick by Emerson into the path of Richarlison. Nice touch in behind it, a little dink finish into the far corner. That gave him his hat-trick after he had 2 disallowed goals before that as well. So it was it was an easy game for Tottenham. It was good for the fitness levels, good just to learn more how to play Ange's system, but the level of opposition was clearly lacking in this game.
Yeah, and that definitely shone through in the second half, didn't it, where mistake after mistake was happening in that back line for the City Sailors. Like I said before, look, you can't really learn or read too much into the game. It was mainly just about a fitness regime today. But I think it was still good to see Spurs back on the pitch, see Spurs score some goals. but it definitely had more of a training feel to this game than it did maybe against West Ham, where you saw really full-blooded challenges going in and stuff like that. And on top of that, the referee was just absolutely shocking today, to be honest. But look, we move on. There's not another friendly game now for about 10 days when we take on Shakhtar at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then 2 days after that, we do take on Barcelona in our final friendly before the season kicks off. So the Barcelona friendly will be, I think, 5 days before the big kickoff of the Premier League against Brentford. But we do win this game 5-1. So let me know your thoughts of the game in the comments section below. And thank you everyone for tuning in today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.